One last little fun thing for you. Actually, it's going to be the start. This video, I think this is going to be the very start of the video, just so I can explain a couple things. Now, you guys that watch all these videos know what I went through on this side of the car underneath, fixing all this stuff over, I don't know, 10 videos. And started over here. This is a long video because I'm just showing you little things as I work my way all the way down. So that way you wouldn't have to go through the same thing I had to go through on the other side. So if you want to know how I fix this side, look on that side. It's the same thing. So anyhow, hope you enjoy this video. Sorry if it's kind of long. I probably won't edit anything, but I think I may leave my exhaust like this for a little while. I think it's pretty cool. So anyway, enjoy the video, everybody. Ah, yeah. Well, got the heat going here in the home hobby shop of mine. I've been got me a bit of a cold here the last couple days, so I haven't been out here much. And it's kind of been bugging me. I'm not much for sitting on my rear end, at least not when I'm at home and I've got stuff like this going on. So we'll see how I'm feeling. A little bit better today, so we'll just see how good I'm doing and how much I get done. But anyhow, we've got a patch in our floor that's turned out pretty good. It welded up really nice, just like that one over there. It's pretty much the same situation on this side. Now this is regular automotive seam sealer. It's good stuff. I'm starting to run out of the orange stuff. That orange stuff is just super heavy duty, and I'm not going to go and buy it. You know, I'm starting to run out of it. What I want to save it for is the outer stuff. You know, the outer stuff that's really going to get a lot of road rash and a lot of abuse because it's really good for that. So I'm going to save up my red stuff for that. But anything inside seam sealing, I'm just going to use regular seam sealer, just like this. I've got that kind of a mess under here, really. It looks worse than it really is. But anyway, I've got my 18 gauge steel inside there with an 1/8 inch lip, you know, about 3/8 of an inch, ½ inch, whatever, all the way down through the whole thing. I've got it spot welded right on through the rocker panel. 1/8 inch steel here, spot welded from the top side down to help hold help this seat bracket. Here's our seat mounts right here. Okay, so that seat's not moving around and all that. From the factory, they didn't have anything like this. It just had you know, a sheet metal bracket here, sheet metal bracket here, and all that stuff. So this is going to help with what's missing here and over here. And then I'll take my 18 gauge steel and probably go from right here all the way over, probably on up into right here, and cover all this up, you know. And it's going to be one big piece go right across through there. Then I'll make a little capper piece here. Then I'll use my red seam sealer when it comes time and seal the whole thing off, and then to make sure that I have a little bit of a gap down here that water can get out if it gets in. I think it'll turn out pretty nice, just like the rest of it. You know, for the car that it is, I think it'll be great. Let me see what I get done and get back to you. Alright, here's my patch panel. Notice how nice and flat it is. This is the inside, the floorboard side of it. This outer edge all the way around is weld through primer. In the center underneath the 415 is metal etch primer. Now this 415 is kind of, I'm getting towards the bottom of my gallon of 415, and it's getting nice and thick and gooey, and I think that's cool for this sort of thing, because what it is I can put it on here nice and thick, and in this cooler garage it just sits there. It won't drip, it won't run or anything. And what I'll do is I'll start welding on my edges. It'll heat that panel up, and that stuff will start oozing and run like water. So from the inside, basically, it'll go right into where I need it to after I weld it. It's really a cool deal. But like I was telling you, it's flat, you know, and it has to have a curve to it, you know, to conform with the bottom of the car, where I'm from the inner rocker panel up to the floor. So the reason I did it that way, and I don't know if I might put it on my knee and kind of bend it around, but it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna stitch weld right through here. I'm gonna stitch weld right about here, wherever that bracket is that's going in there that I put in. Then I'll stitch weld it on the end. So at that point, I'll push it up and start forming it around, and I'll stitch weld a little bit here. I'll stitch weld a little bit here, and even if I have to get the floor jack under there with a piece of wood and shove it up into place, and then stitch weld all the rest of it into place. It's just kind of how I'll do it. And then right here is where the captain will be. I'll show you when I get it on there. I think I'll make it that far. I'm starting to feel a little woozy and a little bit tired, and I got to work tomorrow, but I want to get this done and get it 415 on the outside, so I feel like I got something accomplished. All right, get back with you in 13/10 of a second. Okay, I forgot to show you. After I seam sealed everything and let it set up really good, I undercoated really good inside there, up inside there, and it's all, you can see that I'll stitch weld right here all the way around here. There'll be a little bit of a gap here that I'll seam seal in later. Stitch weld all the way along here in the middle of that floor brace for the seat. There'll be a little gap right here. I'll seam seal, stitch weld right through here, and it'll probably be open right through here, and it'll get capped off right there, right this way. It'll get capped off. I'll stitch weld right here, just the beginning of it. A little open spot for my water to escape. Stitch weld right here, and another place for water to escape. You know, so I've got it sealed, super sealed, and water and stuff gets splashed up in here. It's gonna get in here. It doesn't matter what I do. I just don't want to trap it. I want it to be able to get out. So anyway, let me get this piece welded in here, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Man, oh man, I got a mess. Good morning, everybody. I didn't realize the mess I'd left out here last time it's been about a week since I've been out here. Got a mess. Man, it's a beautiful morning here. Indianapolis, Indiana. February 19th. Something like that. Figured it'd be a nice day to get out here, clean this up, stick a couple of patch panels in, one right there. I'll take my 2-inch tape, go across it, cut it out with a razor blade, slap it on a piece of steel and cut out around it and plop it on in there. Got a little one just right underneath there. And of course, the next fun is going to be right here. I did some looking. Our inner fender well is in pretty good shape, so I just need to fix this lip right here. Need to fix some of this action right here. Got a hole. Of course, I knew we had this hole, so you saw how I fixed that on the other side. I'll do the same thing. A little bit smaller hole. Oh my gosh. Man, morning, everybody. You ain't no better looking in the morning, are you? No. But yeah, we got some stuff going on here. Some little extra work compared to the other side. All in here. All through here. And that there, well, it'll look like that side, so that's all that matters. How this turn out, Super Dave? Well, it ain't bad.
Yeah, you see all the fucking lines in it.
You probably got too close to it.
Yeah, I was real close.
You was too close to it.
I was real close to it.
So, now we could probably wet sand and buff it, you know. Nah, probably ain't gonna help.
Nah, fuck it.
It's a toolbox.
It's a toolbox.
But it's a good color though, you know.
Yeah, it is.
And it shouldn't be all rusty for a while.
No?
Alright. Say bye, Super Dave.
Bye.
Well, hey everybody. For you it's only been 13/10 of a second. For me it's been about a month since I've worked on the car. I just haven't shot any video. I didn't want to bore you with all the details. You know how I fixed all this up, fixed all this stuff up, made it really nice. Underneath the floorboard here, patched in here. Ended up having a patch right here. And that turned out pretty nice. I patched up. Oh, let's see. Get the fender skirt down here. I patched this little section here that was gone. This little section here that was gone. Cleaned up all in here, and it's just going to get seam sealed and then coated again with 415 on top of that. Now, of course, the light's not the best. There you go. This panel was gone, so it's all the way up into here now. Saved all this. Put me in a patch panel here for this drop down that was rotted out. And so what I've been doing is working on this. I've had trouble, you know, but I think look at that. I think I just about got it just right. I think that'll be really nice. I'll had to put a couple of relief cuts because I couldn't get the, you know, I did all this by hand, of course. Partly used this mold that I made for the other side. Thing was, this is 2 inches. On the other side, the patch was exactly 2 inches. I did that for that reason. I could put it on the floor and fold my lip over. Well, this was 4 inches because it was rusted out worse on this side, and you know, and the wood deflects more. It's starting to crack, and I didn't figure it'd work for more than 1 or 2 patches. But you know, I got it on there. I think it's turned out pretty decent just doing it by hand for a hillbilly mechanic. So, but I'll drill me a couple of spot welds, and of course I'll weld straight through here where I made my relief cut so I could get my radius right. You know, another spot weld here. Pour 15 on the back side of it like crazy. Weld through primer before that, and then on down the line. So then, you know, this is the inside, and it's all in pretty good shape. I have a little crack right here, cracky rust hole thing, so I want to patch this, and I'm going to stay on just this radius. I don't like getting all the way up into here because then it's a compound situation. Now I've got this that I didn't have on the other side, which is, you know, this little section is going to have to be, you know, patched in. I may even patch this whole thing in from here and down. I figure that way, if I have this original piece, you know, blending in everything, I think it'll mold in pretty good. And since it's such a beautiful day out, I have the garage door open, and of course it is getting nicer, so you won't see me out here on the car quite as often as during the winter because I'll be playing music and doing all kind of stuff. But of course the drop down is just rotted out here really bad. Compared to the other side, it was solid. On the other side, this side is just not. You know, so I've got to redo this trunk floor brace all the way to here, almost to this mount, pretty much to this mount. You know, and I'm not real happy with the idea of even taking that mount out.
but just looking at it in the daylight right now, I think it's going to be how I'm going to have to do it to get this patched up, cut out, and replaced. But you know, it is what it is. I'll figure it out. So anyhow, let me get some stuff done on that patch. Get her tacked in, show you, maybe start a little bit here today and tomorrow, and then I'll get this video put up, since you guys haven't seen a video from me for almost a month. When I've had people starting to ask, you know, how about that old car? You ain't give up on it, have you? Well, hell no, I haven't. I'm going to get her done. We'll see you guys in just a couple seconds. Alright, here's what we got. Look at that. Got a pretty decent body seam here. Now these fender skirts just don't fit in here with the crap on either side. They just don't. But you know, I'll get this dollied down and rounded around the way it needs to be. But I think it turned out pretty nice, really. You know, and it's not perfect. Somebody knew what they were looking at, could look in here and go, something's been done here. This little body lip line doesn't quite continue through there. And it might by the time I'm done with it, but anyhow, spot, just tacked it all the way around, back and forth, start and stop, little stitch welds and all that stuff. I have spot welds inside here. I have spot welds along the bottom here. So of course it'll get all seam sealed after I get all the body work and all that stuff done. I'll seam seal on the inside of all that, and then of course in this bottom lip, that'll be important there to seam seal that, in this whole back section that I fixed. So now I think really the thing for me to do is that section right behind here, that drop down panel that goes into the trunk brace. It'd be a good time to fix that when I have this cut out. So I'm going to go probably almost to here, and these are my magnets. I showed you that trick in another video. Holds my my two panels flush together, and I just tack in between them and then knock them out of the way. So probably I will go from probably right around here, go on up, and cut straight across to here. Then I'll fix this whole corner that way, and make a even bigger patch panel. But it shouldn't be too bad just to form it, you know, over my leg or over a piece of pipe or something like that, and make it work out. Let me see how far I get there and check back with you. Man, Sunday afternoon, it's beautiful outside, got the door open, and I've got a mess. But that's okay. I've got some cool stuff accomplished. There's my patch panel. Turned out really nice. I didn't even have excessive warpage. It's dived in just a little bit right where I welded it, which is just what I want. This in here will get cleaned up a little bit more and seam sealed and, you know, all this stuff. I have a little bitty annoying hole right here to fix, which ain't gonna be a big deal. I'll chop that out, slap me a piece of metal in it. It's not a real big deal. Started out with this. It's all rusted out along the bottom. I cut it on out. Like I was telling you, the drop down panel was a little worse than I thought once I got it apart, but that's okay. I put in a whole new section. It's welded on both sides. Show it to you here on this side, all the way down. I got this nice little bend on a piece of metal here. I'll make my patch panel here and get this all finished up. Then I'll cut all this out. It's a U-channel type thing that goes and supposed to go right into here. And it held a bunch of water and all that and dirt, and that's how it rusted out right there. I also have the floorboard in the trunk that I need to fix, so I'll cut all that out. You know, let me get some stuff done and get another patch panel. There's the back side of my patch panel and some of my handiwork, and it'll all get pour 15'd and done up real good and crazy like, you know, and there you go. Be right back with you. Alright. Got things all cleaned up. It's much nicer. You know, and for me, I'm not a super clean freak or anything, but it really wears you out an extra amount besides just walking around a bunch of crap and walking in it, and it'll make your legs sore worse than if the floor was just cleaned off. So I do it for that, for safety reasons. When you're welding, you have junk all over the floor. Of course, you can start a fire. You know, and it's just good for my attitude. I feel much better. I feel like a new man. You know, I feel like I'm doing all right. Anyhow, so this is the piece that we cut out of there. Okay, it goes and it wraps around and attaches to our drop down panel. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to match this corner best that I can in this line. That way we're matched here and here. The rest of it, as I shape it, I can overhang it. You know, I can cut it off here. I can work it around here, trim it off, mark it, trim it off, and work it around here before I get it all welded in. Get it pretty close, and I don't know, we'll cut it out and see what's up with that. You know, I'll cut out right there on my little blue line, right there, and then leave this overhang amount, and I might even go a little bit longer than that, maybe out to here. Then I can drop it down and go where we need to. So there, I'll be back. Alright, let me show you what we got. Got my panel kind of, you know, I tacked it around and made sure my lines lined up pretty good here and here, because the rest is you know, sacrificial almost. I did, before I started welding it, I got my line bit in here and a couple slices in the metal just so it still turns, and I'll weld all that up on the end. I had an overhang of about 1 inch along here, so I went ahead and sliced that off and drilled in my plug welds or spot welds or whatever. So now I'll go along and pinch that together a little bit of time and weld them all in. Then at the end of it, I'll do this, because everything should be kind of where it's supposed to be. This isn't the prettiest welding I've ever done, but it'll get ground down and sucked in anyway. Duraglass, all that good stuff. So there you go. I'll show it to you when we're done. Alright, back with you. It's been a couple days. For you it's about 0.3 of a second, but got this in here. I had a little bit of trouble. I still have a little bit of welding to do, but that's okay. I just got over this section here. It's, you know, this front patch turned out really sweet. This one didn't turn out worth a shit, but you know, it's going to get Duraglassed, and it's actually in just a little bit, you know, which is fine. So you won't be able to tell. You won't be able to tell that I'm not happy with it, but you know, who knows? I might cut that dang thing out and redo it all over again. But I'm over it. I'm wanting to get down the road, so this is the next issue. I repaired the drop down panel on the inside, where this is supposed to be over here, just like that side is. Now it's already it was pour 15, then seam sealed, and then pour 15 over top of that. So this side's pretty good to go. The problem I have is we're going into this body mount for this trunk floor brace. So all this needs cut out. All this needs cut out to somewhere around here, up through here, all the way over to the drop down panel. So I'll cut this all out. I'll cut this off like I did on the other side and rebuild it. And then of course our stupid mount for our fender skirt. Goes right in there. So let me get something tore up here and then I'll check back with you. Alright, there we go. Got her all cut out. It's here's her body mount right here, so I'll have to make a new mount, or I'll use the old mount. The old mount's not, you know, in too bad a shape. I think I can just reuse it. So I'm not real sure how to approach this, but I think I'm going to do the trunk pan repair first, and then start bending my pieces. And what I might do, I'm not totally sure what I'll do, but I'll probably do this in two sections. I'll build this backside coming out and then coming up partially, and I'll get in there and put my body mount back, and then I'll build a capper section to go here. And you can see it's supposed to, this is where this is supposed to go, so, and I'm just going to go right over top of this. I believe that's what I'm going to do, is weld right to that. That's good stiff, you know, thick steel there still. So and then of course I'll make my piece on the end. I got a little metal brake, so I'm going to try that out. But first I'm probably going to pour 15 down inside this channel best I can. Dump it. I got some old stuff that I'll just dump and let it run all the way through there. Kind of help protect that on the inside. I don't know. We'll see. Alrighty. Well, we're done and ready to turn the corner on this old car. Now you guys remember on the last time, or rather a few videos back, where I redid this and rebuilt all this up. Well, showed you how I did it here. Well, this is the finished product basically. Now it'll get undercoated on top of this pour 15. It's seam sealed, pour 15. Well, actually it's pour 15 first, everywhere I welded, inside and out, undercoated inside this floor brace, trunk floor brace channel, and I'll pour 15 it, seam seal it after it's set up, and then I pour 15 over top of all this. I had some surface rust kind of working in here and underneath this trunk opening lip, and I scraped that stuff down and scrubbed it down real good, wire brushed it and cleaned it really good with some lacquer thinner, and I just shot this stuff on here. Heck with it, you know. You're not going to see none of this when I go to paint it. You start doing my outer body paint, I'll scuff this stuff up really good, and heck, I might even just shoot some white paint on it. Either way, it doesn't matter. It'll get a little overspray to look factory. Anyway, it turned out pretty nice, I think. It was rusted out all the way past here. Had to redo the body bolt there. Of course, this was all ate out all the way over to here. We got all the way down and layered everything kind of close as factory as I could do it. Had the same hole here, and you saw me in another video, previous video, how I fixed that. Got some patch panels. They're just kind of roughed in. They still need Duraglassed and finished off, but I'll do that with the outside of the body. There's my bracket, and my adjuster is built and ready to go for which was all falling apart and all that. I've got the whole underside of the car. Anywhere there was loose undercoating, surface rust, of course the frame inside and out I cleaned, scrubbed it down and sprayed it down with pour 15, and it really turned out pretty nice. And like I said, this will all get undercoated anyway. After the body and paint work's done, I'll jack her up and undercoat the whole thing on the bottom. But man, it's sure a different car now. We don't have holes in any floors. We don't have any brackets that are rusted through. I got everything I need on this car now to start putting it back together. So the next plan is I'll get this tire back on, get it back on the ground. I need to get all this trim off all the way around this glass. Now I don't plan on taking the front or rear glass out. This has butyl that holds these clips in, at least on the tops and the sides. I think the bottom one might have those regular GM clips you gotta, you know, mess with to get them loose, but I'll figure that out. Got to clean. It's got a rubber seal with butyl in there, so I need to clean all that butyl out. I'll tape off all my edges, and I'll roll this car right out here in the driveway and start one panel at a time and start chemical stripping it, taking care not to get it into my edges or any kind of pinch welds or anything like that where I have a hard time getting it rinsed out good. It's only for the outside stuff, you know. You know, maybe some of this kind of stuff in here. I'll pull this weather strip off. But anyway, that's the end of this video. So, how about that? On to the next point. We'll see you guys next time.